Welcome back to another episode of Susan Lopresti Wellness, Mind, Body, and Soul, the podcast where we explore the highs, the lows, and everything in between when it comes to a woman's life, her health, and navigating all aspects of the midlife landscape. I'm your host, Susan Lopresti, and today I'm going to explore a common and often debilitating issue that many women face, and that is hormonal headaches. So I will be taking a deep dive into this topic from a functional medicine perspective, uncovering the underlying causes and discussing holistic approaches for managing and preventing these headaches. Thank you for listening. Welcome back. We'll be taking a deep dive into this topic of hormonal headaches from a functional medicine perspective, uncovering the underlying causes and discussing holistic approaches for managing and also for preventing these headaches. So I want to start by telling you my own personal experience with hormonal headaches, which none of my doctors, by the way, but one diagnosed them as such. I didn't know if I had a brain tumor, God forbid, or something else seriously wrong with me. At times, I thought maybe I was having a stroke. They were frightening, and they also were accompanied by nausea and vomiting, and I couldn't see light. It was blinding. I had this flashing aura, which looked like a bright light, but yet a kaleidoscope. So everything that I was looking at was broken down into geometric shapes. And it was just such a weird thing. And I never experienced it before. And it was very frightening. I would have to leave work and go home in car service because there was no way that I could travel on public transportation. So I needed to be in a car, and I needed to just keep my eyes shut and not look at the light because it just was debilitating. So one of the first things that I started to do was I started to go for acupuncture every week for about 2 years straight. And I was still getting the headaches, but they weren't as frequent as they were when they first began. It wasn't until I went to see a functional medicine doctor did I find out what was going on and how to correct it. Before even doing blood work, my doctor said you need to be on a probiotic and magnesium, regardless of what the blood work says. She says, for sure, you need a probiotic because you have terrible digestive issues. She knew that because I told her that. And she also said that most people are deficient in magnesium because it's depleted out of the soil. So she wanted me to get on to magnesium immediately. Once the results were back from my blood work, it was determined that I had a lot of inflammation in my body and high antibodies towards gluten. I had leaky gut syndrome, which is a digestive condition where the intestinal lining allows bacteria and toxins into the bloodstream. It refers to an increased permeability of the intestinal lining, which could play a role in Crohn's disease, celiac disease, and so many other diseases. So I had leaky gut, and that was why I had so many digestive issues. That was so uncomfortable at times that it made it hard to be carefree and to enjoy life. You just never knew when something was going to happen from one minute to the next. I could be perfectly fine, and all of a sudden I'm loaded with gas and I'm bloated and my stomach is popping out. And it's like, what just happened? So I also found out through this functional medicine doctor that I had Hashimoto's disease. And guess what gluten does? Gluten attacks your thyroid. And because of that, I had an underactive thyroid that turned into an autoimmune disease, which is when your body attacks itself in some way. And in my case, my body was attacking my thyroid. I was just loaded with inflammation, which then was creating all of the aches and pains as well as the headaches. It was suggested by my doctor that I immediately give up gluten, dairy, sugar, and caffeine. And that's a pretty tall order. But I was so desperate to feel better that I would have done anything that she said to do just to feel normal again. I had taken my health for granted when I had it, and I was determined at this point to get it back. The headaches were crippling and really cramping my style and interfering with work and also social activities. And so many times I was afraid to leave my house to go to work because a lot of times I would get this attack on the railroad going into the city or in Penn Station or walking down 7th Avenue or sitting at my computer. And all that meant is that now I had to find my way back home so I could shut all the blinds and shades in my apartment and crawl into bed with a bath bucket next to my bed and continue just to throw up and stay in the darkness until it passed. And sometimes it would take 6, 7, 8 hours before it would pass. So that's how desperate I was. So that doctor could have told me to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge, and I probably would have done it. So, but maybe not that drastic, but I was at my wit's end. And it did take a full 6 months of strict ways of eating. I cooked each and every meal for myself. And I had recipes going and was always in the supermarket trying out new veggies and new foods so that I wouldn't get bored of eating the same old thing all the time. Because once you start getting bored of your meals, then you sort of have the tendency to slip back a little bit and start cheating. And I was desperate to heal my body, and there was going to be no cheating allowed. Not only did my headaches go away, but my gut healed. So no more embarrassing digestive issues in public. My body aches cleared up, and I no longer felt like I was aging. I was actually feeling younger and also more positive and happier because I was feeling so much better. Well, 6 months in, and I felt like a brand new person. Once I cleared up my gut, my hormonal headaches went away. And thankfully, and let me knock on wood and say they have never returned. So, with that happy ending, let's get into hormonal headaches and dive in a little deeper about what you can do to alleviate them. So let's begin. To kick off, let's gain a clear understanding of what hormonal headaches are and why they occur. Hormonal fluctuations, particularly during the menstrual cycle, can trigger headaches due to shifts in estrogen and progesterone levels. And these headaches often occur around menstruation, ovulation, but also due to hormonal shifts like pregnancy and menopause, where estrogen and progesterone are continuing to fluctuate. And as they're fluctuating, they're really knocking everything out of balance. The reason why I love functional medicine is because it looks beyond the symptoms and it aims to address the root causes of health issues. So in the case of hormonal headaches, this means that we are exploring various factors that could contribute to these headaches, such as imbalances in hormones, inflammation, gut health, and lifestyle factors. Functional medicine practitioners seek to create a personalized plan to address the unique factors contributing to each individual's headaches. So, functional medicine is just not offering a band-aid for the symptoms. Functional medicine goes to the root cause of the issue and clears up that root cause. And when that root cause is no longer an issue, your symptoms just melt away. The other thing I want to talk about are hormonal imbalances and headaches. Hormones play a significant role in overall health and imbalances and can lead to a range of issues, including headaches. So, did you know that there's a strong connection between our gut health and headaches? An unhealthy gut can contribute to inflammation and affect neurological pathways, possibly triggering headaches. And what we eat also plays a crucial role in our hormonal balance and overall health. Dietary strategies can help prevent and manage hormonal headaches. The importance of including anti-inflammatory foods, balancing blood sugar levels, and incorporating key nutrients that support hormonal health that are crucial in order to begin to heal. Lifestyle factors such as stress management, sleep, and exercise can impact hormonal balance and also headache frequency. Begin by adopting some stress reduction techniques, establishing healthy sleep patterns, and incorporating appropriate physical activity to support overall hormonal health. Now, to go back to my own personal situation, at the time that I was suffering with these hormonal headaches and was getting what I considered to be a migraine headache, I was under a tremendous amount of stress. I was also in the process of getting divorced, selling my home, and looking for a new place to live. So I believe that the stress and the rise of cortisol, which is the stress hormone, that wasn't getting shut off because I was constantly stressed, that also played a role in my headaches. The next thing I want to talk about is lifestyle factors, such again as stress management, sleep, and exercise can really impact hormonal balance and headache frequency. Begin by adopting some stress reduction techniques, establishing healthy sleep patterns, and incorporating appropriate physical activity to support overall hormonal health. Functional medicine offers a range of therapies to address hormonal balances and headaches, from herbal supplements to acupuncture, which I spoke about, and mindfulness practices. It's important to explore various holistic approaches that can complement dietary and lifestyle changes. You will know soon enough which therapies work best for your individual needs. Everyone is unique, and each therapy will be tailored to your needs, and some will work better than others. So you'll know by trial and error as you're incorporating more of these therapies and you're seeing a difference, you'll know which ones are working and which ones are not. So, as we wrap up this episode, I really uncovered the multifaceted nature of hormonal headaches and explored how functional medicine offers a comprehensive approach to understanding and managing these headaches. Remember, finding the right approach for you might involve some trial and error, but with guidance of a skilled functional medicine practitioner, you can pave the way to a life with fewer headaches and improved overall well-being. Also, please keep in mind that once you know what's going on with your body and you know what it is that you need to do, you may need the help, guidance, and encouragement from a health coach to keep you motivated to continue towards the path of wellness. I am always open to having a conversation with you about your health concerns, and you can schedule a free health assessment with me by going to my website at www.susanlopresti.com. From there, you can schedule a free 30-minute health assessment with me. I want you to know that you are under no obligation whatsoever to continue after that 30 minutes. I just want to thank you for joining me here on this very enlightening episode. If you found this episode valuable, please be sure to subscribe and share it with your friends and your family, and also leave me a review. Remember, your journey to harmonized health is within reach. Stay tuned for more empowering insights. Until the next time, stay well, be happy, and bye for now.